Hi dear friends, welcome to the CSS Learners Academy, and today we are going to talk about the importance of Deen in the human life. Well, there is a difference between religion and Deen, and that I would be covering in the next lecture, as I am trying to cover the syllabus in its sequence so that it may be easy for you whenever you come to the channel and you want to look for the required lectures. You can find them in a set sequence. Deen, first of all, we need to understand what is the meaning of Deen and how can we explain it with reference to the background, and then with different references of the types of Deen that we see today. What are the common things between them, what are the similarities, what are the differences, and how we can explain if a question is being asked in the paper regarding the importance of Deen. Let me remind you something, that a question, whenever it is asked in Islamic studies, even or in any other subject as well, but the question will be only on the 20 marks. So you must keep something in your mind that you must write up to an extent where you can get an equivalent of 20 marks, and do not involve in the long discussions, and do not minimize anything that should have been there in the part of that question. For 20 marks, generally you need to write on 6 to 7 pages at maximum. If you are attempting a first question and you think that you can write much detailed information, much detailed account regarding that specific question, then you must write a maximum of 8 pages, but not more than that. Because number one is that time will be wasted for the other 3 questions, and you cannot get more than 20 marks. Obviously, even you cannot get more than 15 or 16 marks. They are the maximum marks that you are going to get. So do not waste your time or your energies, and just attempt the question according to whatever is being asked. Normally, the topic about Deen is asked in a paper about the difference between Deen and religion, or simply what is the importance of Deen in human life. And this is the topic that we are going to discuss today. Well, to put it in very simple terms, I would like to say that in the modern times, you will not see any society, any community, any country or any state where there is a territory, people, and there is a government, and they are living without a constitution. And that is not possible. Why we need a constitution? We need a constitution to drive that society towards peace and prosperity, and to live together in harmony. Because other than the code, other than the constitution, man cannot live in peace because of the natural instincts that he has, and because of them there should be something to keep him intact. The constitution tells you that these are the responsibilities on the obligations of the state towards its people, and then there are certain responsibilities, rights and obligations of the people towards that state as well. And then together, working in line with that constitution or the code or the body of the law, we can see a society which can exist. We agree that other than any code, other than any body of law, other than any supreme law, man cannot live, they cannot exist in the form of societies as we see today. The developed communities, the developed societies as we see them today. Well, looking towards the background, we see that the Code of Hammurabi that we study today as the basis of our criminology. The Code of Hammurabi was enacted by the 6th Babylonian king of Mesopotamia back in 1754 BC. And that is the code which provides the base of formulating the code that we see, different codes that we see today. It means that human society cannot survive without a proper set of laws, or without a proper constitution. Now, I would like to say that if we just are thinking about a society and we believe that the society cannot survive without a constitution, without a body of set rules and regulations, how can we assume that Allah Almighty, who have created this world for the men to live, He left all the men upon their own choices, and He did not provide any set of rules or regulations? Now that set of rules and regulations, that type of a constitution which is provided by the creator for the people who are his creation is known as Deen. Now you will see that there are generally two types of religions in the world today. One of them are the divine religions such as Islam, Christianity and Judaism, and the other side is the man-made religions like Hinduism, like Sikhism, like Buddhism, Zoroastrianism. These are the man-made. But the thing common in all these religions is that they all talk about morality. All of them would say that being truthful is something good, you should not lie, and you should be honest, and you should not be a hypocrite, you should not kill anybody that you think should be killed. And there are certain moralities which are similar in all these religions. So question here is, do we need religion or do we need Deen in our life? And what our life would look like if there is no Deen at all? Now, first of all, I would like to tell you that the difference between the law of the jungle and law of the land is that there is no rule in the jungle. The only thing which is important is survival of the fittest. And the only thing which is that if you are strong, you can gain anything you like, and if you are weak, you have no one to help you. So you need to work hard and you need to make your survival at best possible level. But it is not the same in human society. It is what makes us different from animals, that we have set rules and regulations that protect the weaker people in the society and that set limitations for the strong. The code that tells the people, the rich people, the powerful people, that it is not true that you can acquire anything you like. You have rights and they have rights as well. So you both are equal. You're rich in resources, you should pay to them so that they can get a better level. So here in the background, you have studied three things. Number one is that a human society cannot survive without a code. And number second is that that code is not the necessity of Allah Almighty, but the necessity of us, the people. We need it for our survival. And the third thing is that this is the code which may differentiate between the jungle and the society of mankind. Now after that, I will talk about two aspects why the Deen is necessary. What is the importance of Deen in our lives? I will talk about two main headings and then you can create any subheadings from that as you like. But generally, my procedure of attempting a question remained that I would give 4 headings or 5 headings. If I am giving the 4 headings, one of them would be background and the 2 impacts that now I am going to discuss, and the 4th one would be the conclusion. In these 4 headings, I would write about the paragraphs that may enough to get me 5 marks from each paragraph. So 4 into 5 makes it 20. The next 2 headings that I am going to talk about, number 1 is that Deen is your guide towards knowledge and wisdom. And the second one is Deen is something which differentiates between right and wrong. Now, talking about the first one, getting knowledge and wisdom is the urgence of mankind which is instilled in their minds from the birth. Everyone, naturally every human being, try to seek knowledge as much as possible, and to become mature and to become wise is the goal of almost all human beings, unless our society, our educational institutes or the breeding makes it something different than that. Now, all of the prophets that have been descended to this world by Allah Almighty, many things were common in them, but the one important thing that was common is that they were at the highest of the knowledge that mankind was even far beyond that, far behind that. They would teach different discoveries to the people. Some of people would believe it and some of them would reject it. That is the human nature as well, that the thing we don't understand, we just reject it. Now these prophets, they had specific kinds of miracles. What is a miracle? Miracle is something that science cannot understand yet. It doesn't mean that science will not be able to understand that in years to come. We have seen that there are much scientific discoveries in the Holy Quran that science accepts today. Some of them are not understandable for science because our science is not at a level to understand those things yet. But in the due course of time, if the science continues to make progress, I believe that a day may dawn when science will be able to comprehend whatever was mentioned in Holy Quran 1400 years ago. As an example of when Prophet Muhammad upon him was on Miraj. This incident of Miraj has been mentioned in the Holy Quran. Muslims believe this incident because they are Muslims, and non-Muslims do not believe this incident because there is, according to them, there is no logic in that. Well, let me ask all those who do not believe that if we go to 500 years ago and then you are in a society, you are standing among the people and you say that someday would come that the man would be flying in air like the birds are doing today. This statement 500 years ago would be something for a mere joke or sarcasm for the people. They would laugh at you. They will think that you are mad. But let me ask you something. Who is conservative here? The people who do not understand your vision, or you are conservative who can envision what is going to happen after 500 years? How you know that? Because of your knowledge, because of your wisdom. Now that is the difference between a prophet and a common man. The prophet, after his research and after his blessings from Allah Almighty, he stand at a point where he can see what other cannot see. His vision is extended, his soul is purified, his bodily needs are minimized, and as a result, his vision is expanded, and he can see what the man of that time cannot see. It do not mean that the prophet is lying. It do not mean that the prophet himself is not a prophet. It means that we cannot understand what he is saying or what he is mentioning. Now, you can see a statement, a very famous law by Einstein, E is equal to mc square, where he has talked about the interconvertible properties of mass and energy. He says that energy can be converted into mass and mass can be converted back into energy. How it is going to happen? Our physics is just in research and seeking, and we can arrive at that point where we can actually do that. It do not mean that it is a lie. It doesn't mean that what Einstein had said was wrong. It means that we are not able to implicate or we are not able to do it practically yet. So just I would like to say that before rejecting anything that you understand, before saying that whatever is here is a lie because we don't understand, it's not the right approach to see towards the thing. So with respect to knowledge and wisdom, let's take another example from economy. Economy is basically the knowledge of how to regulate the financial matters of a society. Now we see today that there are divisions among societies. We are trying to formulate some kind of an economic system which is sustainable, but we fail every time. After an interval of maximum 50 to 60 years, the system starts to collapse. First we had of mercantilism, then the economic liberalism, then we had socialism, and now we have capitalism. But all of these systems have maintained something as a good thing for the time being, but in a matter of some decades, the system ultimately failed. Why? Because they are not provided by Allah Almighty. They are not the divine economic systems. Now, how can you understand that a system is divine? Let's talk about economic system. How would you understand? How would you get that the system which has been provided to you is a divine economic system or not? Now, it is very easy to comprehend that if an economic system is created and it is benefiting the people who created that system, it means that it is a man-made economic system. Whereas if the system is talking about all the people on equal level, it means that it is divine, because the creators of that system are not getting the sole benefit of that system. In a separate lecture, we will talk about the economic system of Islam, and we will try to find out that how this system is the best system even today, and how this system can be implemented, and if the system is implemented on the global level, what kind of prosperity this system can give to the people. So it is important what Deen gives you. Deen gives you the knowledge, Deen gives you the wisdom, and sometimes, as I have quoted examples, that wisdom and that knowledge is even not understandable for the mankind, but it is nonetheless provided to them so that they can research more and more and find out the truth for themselves. The second thing is differentiate between right and wrong. We do not understand what is right and what is wrong until there is a specific body. The code that I was mentioning is there to teach us that this is the right thing and this is the wrong thing. And if you do right, it means that you will prosper. You should get some sort of a reward. And if you are wrong, then you should be punished. Now the reward is there because that is in human nature, that whatever we do a good deed, we do something that we think is good, we demand appreciation. You can see anyone, anybody, any child in your house, whenever he or she does something extraordinary from their own perspective, they demand appreciation. And if you appreciate them, it will formulate their character in the days to come. But if you discourage them, that quality, what they are possessing right now, will be lost. The same case is with the punishment. If there are two people and they have engaged in a quarrel and one of them is wrong, and you do not punish the wrong one, it will create two things. Number one, the wrong will think that whatever he was doing is right and he will continue to do so, and that the other one will think that he is appreciated for a wrong deed, why shouldn't I do the same? And this tendency then goes beyond your control. So these are the basics that we understand, that the differentiation between right and wrong is necessary, and you need to appreciate the one who is doing the right deeds and you need to punish the other one. Now punishment, as I have said earlier in another lecture, that the punishment is not only for the sake of punishment or for the sake of entertainment, but the punishment is for deterrence. It is to deter the people from going into the bad deeds that may harm themselves or the people around them or the society in a larger perspective. So this is the second phase of why Deen is important in human life. So in these three headings, I have described the background, then I have described how Deen is important for knowledge and wisdom, and then I have mentioned how Deen is important for a differentiation between right and wrong. The next and the last heading is conclusion. Now we are going to conclude this discussion. First of all, we have agreed that it is necessary for mankind to have a certain kind of code or a constitution to live together with harmony and to develop a peaceful society. That code or that constitution is known as Deen. Then we have stated that there are two types of Deen or two types of religions there in the society today. One of them is divine, which is known as Deen, and the other ones are man-made, which we call as religions. Then we have agreed that it is necessary for us that we should be given some kind of code, and that may be able to create a society that is both prosperous and peaceful for people to live. And then we have agreed that in knowledge and wisdom, it is the necessity of mankind, and the mankind is certainly progressing. Whenever we were in the Stone Ages, we are not that today. We have progressed further, and for that progress, it was only possible because of the knowledge and wisdom that we got. And the last thing that we have discussed is the differentiation between right and wrong. Because if you cannot differentiate between right and wrong, you cannot think on a straight path, the society and cannot be established. That is the ultimate goal of every Deen that has been descended to the people by Allah Almighty Himself. Now, after this, the coming lecture would be on the topic of the difference between Deen and religion. I will specify different points, how Deen is different from religion. And then we will conclude our discussions like we have done today. Thank you very much for watching the video, and all of those who have not subscribed to the channel, I would say that it is not a good idea. So you must subscribe to the channel, and whenever I upload a new lecture, you would be able to listen it, because inshallah ta'ala I will complete the syllabus of CSS before the coming CSS exam. And if you remain intact, you just need to make your own notes as soon as the lecture is delivered, and you can ask any questions. You can contact me on my mobile number, on my Facebook, on my email. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.